Most buyers make the same costly mistakes at the beginning of their home buying process. And in my experience, more than 90% of the buyers that I've worked with have already fallen into at least one of these 5 mistakes before they ever reach out to me. The good news is we can fix it, but there is a much better way to do this, that is to avoid these mistakes in the first place before it costs you time, stress, heartache, and potentially thousands of dollars. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 costly mistakes that most buyers make at the start of the process so that you can avoid them. There is no order here because they're all important. There are plenty more, but that would be a much longer video. So real quick, just text HELP to my number on the screen and I can help you avoid these and any other common mistakes that are made. You just reach out to me. This is what I do 7 days a week, and is to protect you, help you get a better deal, avoid these costly mistakes, and understand the process from the beginning. Now let's start with number 5, which is trusting online calculators before talking to the right lender. This is where a ton of buyers get it wrong. They go online, plug numbers into a calculator, and get a monthly payment, and then start shopping for homes. The problem is, in my experience, a lot of buyers either enter something wrong, leave something out, or let the calculator make assumptions that turn out to be incorrect. And even if they get everything right, the interest rate and tax rate can vary from home to home, so it's like trying to hit a moving target. Then they spend hours, days, sometimes even weeks getting excited about homes they don't qualify to buy. And then when they find a home that they love, I mean, it's crazy because really fall in love with a home and then go to try and buy it, in many cases find out don't even qualify for it. And that is a huge emotional letdown, but it was avoidable. Occasionally a buyer finds out that they qualify for more than they thought and realize that all this time they were shopping for a home smaller than they could afford. And then they kind of have to start shopping all over again when they find out they can qualify to buy a larger home. Either way, we want to know before and not after searching for a long time for a home that may not even be the right fit. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, I know exactly what I'm looking for because I have a pre-approval from a lender. Well, please keep watching because we'll address problems with pre-approvals here in just a little bit. At the end of the day, we want to know the payment you qualify for, not the price. We have an internal calculator that we use to calculate how that changes for your qualification from home to home and community to community, because it does change. Now let's get into mistake number 4, and that's applying with the wrong lender. This one is way more important than buyers realize. A lot of people think the goal is just to get pre-approved, but it's not. The goal is to get pre-approved with the right lender. And that has a lot to do with whether you choose to buy a new construction home or a resale home, because those are almost always going to be a different lender. Different lenders offer different rates and different incentives. And different builders usually have their own preferred lender with special deals packaged together. And then on top of that, the pre-qualification is often still based on estimates for things like the property tax and insurance. And then if you have the wrong lender for the wrong situation, you're going to pay a higher interest rate than you could have. And that makes a huge difference in your qualification amount and finances. And think of this, how bad is it if you get into a 30-year mortgage to find out that you could have paid a whole lot lower interest rate than you ended up getting, and there's nothing you can do about it? That's the worst situation you could possibly end up in. So if you start with the wrong lender, you can end up doing 2, 3, 4 or more mortgage applications before you finally get pointed in the right direction. I've had buyers come to me after and be told no, that they couldn't buy a home. Then we get them with the right lender and that lender gets it done. And next thing you know, they're a new homeowner. So there's a lot of different variables here, and you really need to be pointed in the right direction. That is why working with the right person matters so much. The right lender can change the entire outcome of your home purchase. And the right realtor, that's me, helps you figure out which lender makes the most sense to use before you waste your time going down the wrong path, or even worse, complete the path to find out that you could have totally had a better situation than you ended up with. That alone saves you time, frustration, a whole lot of confusion. So that's number 4. Let's get into number 3, because this is where a lot of buyers get surprised. And mistake number 3 is thinking the same price means the same payment on a home. This is another place where a lot of buyers get it wrong, because they think if 2 homes are the same price, then the payment should be pretty close to the same. And that's not true at all. In fact, 2 homes, and I'm gonna give you an example here, 2 homes at the exact same price can have dramatically different monthly payments. That also means you qualify for one and not qualify for the other sometimes, even though the price is the same. And this is where a lot of buyers get tripped up, because even when they do get pre-qualified, that does not mean the payment is accurate for every home they look at. The lender will be calculating the qualification amount based on interest rate, estimating taxes, based on a general scenario, but not the exact home you're trying to buy. So let me give you this example. Let's say you're looking at a $400,000 home, and it's an FHA 30-year fixed mortgage that you're going to get. A $400,000 home with a 6.4% interest rate, and assuming a 2.8% tax rate, just to keep the math simple, the monthly payment would be about $3,720 per month. Now let's take another $400,000 home. Same price, but this time, let's say you can work with a different lender and get a 3.99% interest rate. That payment would be about $3,120 per month. That's about $600 per month less for the exact same price home. That's a huge difference. In this example, with the 3.99 rate, you could actually buy a $480,000 home and still have about the same $3,720 monthly payment as the $400,000 home did at the 6.4% interest rate. And we haven't even gotten into how different tax rates affect the payment, because that affects the payment as it changes, just like the interest rates do. That is why this matters so much. Buyers think they're shopping by price, but what they really need to be shopping for is the monthly payment and the total overall opportunity. And this is exactly why you need the right team helping you, the right realtor, the right lender, the right strategy. Because the wrong assumptions early can lead you down the wrong path, the wrong home, and wrong expectations. So let's get into mistake number 2, which is touring homes without your own representation. This is hugely important, and I want buyers to hear this. Everyone selling a home works for the seller. The listing agent works for the seller. The builder sales rep works for the builder, or for sale by owner works for themselves. They are all on commission, and they all work for the seller's interests. So the question is, who's working for you and your interests? Who's protecting you? Who's looking out for your side? Who's calling out things that don't add up? Who's helping you avoid mistakes and get the better deal? That matters before you start touring homes, because once you're walking through model homes or resale homes, you're already in the sales process. And some of them will sell you hard. They may tell you you don't need a realtor. They'll tell you you can get a better deal without one. That is always categorically false. We offer a better deal guarantee for new construction homes. You'll never get a better deal walking into the builder and working with them directly than you will going through us. And we don't cost a dime, right? So we're free to help you. They prefer, all these sellers, builders, reps, and everybody, they prefer when you don't have a realtor or representation, because they don't have to watch themselves. They don't have to worry about what they say and do. They know that you don't know what to check, what questions to ask, or if they leave something out intentionally, that you'll pick up on it. And that's exactly why I say text me before you visit a builder. If you haven't, and you've been visiting them, it's not too late, as long as you don't start signing paperwork. Mistake number 1 is starting the process without the right experienced realtor. The truth is, that is the umbrella mistake, because when buyers start the process without the right experienced realtor, that usually leads to almost every other mistake after that. And I want to be very clear here. An inexperienced realtor is no better than not having one at all. And sometimes, honestly, they can be worse. On a decision this huge, shouldn't you interview your realtor before choosing one? Far too many times I see people choosing cousin John, sister Laura, the friend that just got licensed, or somebody doing real estate part-time. Then later they wonder why things went so wrong, or why their neighbor got a better deal than they did. This is where it all starts. And in my experience, only a small percentage of agents are truly experienced in both resale homes and new construction homes. And that matters because if your agent doesn't know both sides well, they may not know the right lenders, the right incentive strategy, the right communities, the right builder traps, or the right way to compare the total deal for you, as we discussed in our example earlier, to avoid paying a whole lot more for a home of the same price than you could have. And what makes this even crazier is that in almost every case, having the right realtor to work for you is no out-of-pocket cost to you, because compensation is almost always paid by builder funds and the seller on a resale home. A lot of buyers don't know that, but it's important for you to know that, because then you don't have this thought hanging over your head that you have to fork out money to get experienced expert help. That is not the case at all. So if you have the right expert helping you from the beginning, again, you can text my numbers on the screen. I've been doing this for 20 years and specialize in home buyers, first-time home buyers, relocation buyers, 7 days a week. It's what I do. You need an advocate on your team helping you avoid costly mistakes, protecting your interests and nobody else's, and helping you get a better deal. Why wouldn't you do that? And later in the process, the right inspector also matters too. And we help with that too, because the right team makes a huge difference. The right realtor, the right lender, the right inspector. Those three can save you time, headache, heartache, and in most cases, thousands of dollars. So if I was simplifying this as much as possible, I'd say it like this. The biggest costly mistake buyers make is starting the process without expert advice and guidance. And that usually shows up in 5 ways. They trust bad payment estimates. They apply with the wrong lender. They think the same price means the same payment. And they tour homes without their own representation. And they start the whole process without the right experienced realtor helping them from the beginning. That is exactly what I do. It's what I do. It's my passion in life. I help buyers understand the process, avoid costly mistakes, and get a better deal on homes. And if it's a new construction home, I can guarantee it a better deal. And the reason we can do that is because whatever deal they're offering, I can negotiate it better. And then I throw my own incentives on top of that. And they can never do that without me. So if you're thinking about buying, text help to the number on the screen. That's my personal number. You're texting me directly. This isn't like you're going to get some stranger. This is me. The face you see and voice you see on the screen, it is me. That number again, right there. And I'd like to hear from you in the comments too, down below for engagement. Which one of these mistakes do you think buyers make the most? Or is there another mistake you think should have made this 5 list? Because there's a lot of other mistakes. These are just the 5 most important ones that set a person on the wrong course right out of the gate when looking to buy a home. So put that in the comments below. I'd love to see you in the next video. Have a blessed week.